What's up, world? So I wanted to drop a couple balls on you about the truth about divorce. I just wrote up a couple things about it, but I wanted to do something video as well because I know some people respond better to video. But listen, let me say this first. Foremost, I'm not an advocate for divorce. I'm not an advocate that you'll hear talking about, all that other. No, no, I'm still a pro rights, pro family advocate. Divorce is a beast. But I've been getting this question a lot lately, and unfortunately, I've been getting it a lot. And people look at me like, hey man, you made it through your divorce, so there's hope. No, no, don't look at me as your reference or your fuel as somebody who, hey, no, don't do that because everybody's situation is different. But let me say this also that I do understand and I'm sensitive to the reality that divorce does happen. Sometimes, it is justifiable and it understandable, and even biblically, we understand, the under what situations that God, writes in Scripture. Then we understand that. But the truth is, there's more divorces happening that have nothing to do with Bible at all. So we're not going to debate that. But I just want to give you some hardcore truth about the situation that I don't hear a lot about. I don't hear people talking about, but it's just truth. So I just want to add to some of the things that I said or some of the points that I have. One is that divorce is a death, period. Period. Point blank, period. It is a death that you may not come back to life from. That's just the truth. You may not. You may not. But if you do come back to life from the death of divorce, there are some things that are not going to come back to life. There are some things that you're going to lose forever that you're not going to get back. And I want to drop. Look, first off, you're going to lose some sleep. You're going to lose some weight. You're going to lose some friends. You're going to lose relationships. You may lose jobs. You may lose business opportunities. It's all going to be impacted. And I'll tell you why a little bit later, why that happens. But it's all going to happen when you go through divorce. PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, is real. We don't hear enough about that. Post-traumatic stress is real. Let me be 100 with you. I spent almost 2 years in traditional counseling and therapy by myself, because the pain of what was happening, it was just, my mind had to find a new constant. My mind had to find a place to regulate and feel normal, because everything that you've known for X amount of time as normal, that's now going to change. That's now changing. The friends that you were with, the parties that you went to, your routines, your lifestyle, all that has been impacted by the marriage lifestyle. And it's important that people understand this. When you get married, it's not, oh, marriage is something that I do. Marriage becomes who you are. You become a husband. You become a wife. And the Bible talks about the two become one, right? Now the one now have to become two again. Outside of everything that you just lived for 10 plus years, 20 plus years, that's all you knew. So imagine going back into a world that is now foreign to you. Me personally, I came back into the other side years later. Last time I was officially single, like not in a relationship single, was like 99 or something like that. Now, you have to learn how to function years later. That's hard. Listen, I'm talking about you treat every woman that you deal with like a wife. You're not doing it intentionally, but that's all you know. You don't understand what boundaries are. You don't understand, oh, this is how you communicate. This is how you don't communicate. All that stuff, man. We adopted a lifestyle that had to do with where we were. So guess what? It ain't that no more. So I'm just telling you, it's a big deal. Everything that you know is going to be shaken. You're going to have to find ways to coexist even when you're not in the same household. What am I talking about? I'm talking about parent-teachers conferences, meetings, extracurricular activities. All that stuff is weighty. You can't just call up anymore and say, hey, go pick up the kids. Because when you get divorced, you're dealing with a whole different person now. Now, you think that you was dealing with somebody when you were married and you had conflict. No, you're dealing with a total different person when you get divorced. And that makes sense because they're no longer your wife. They're no longer your husband. They're not your spouse anymore. So you can expect for the way that they flow to flow with you. No, don't work like that no more, baby. You gotta come to a new level. And you might say, oh, you act like you don't know me. You're right. I don't know who you are anymore. This is a different you. Because the person that you're married to is now different than the person that they're now divorced from. So you need to understand that when, the two became one, but the one are now two again. That is hard. You're splitting. And you have to come to the point of like, look, man, the harsh reality is you failed. You failed. You failed God. You failed everybody around you. Because you stood up and you said, I do. We do. But now you're saying, I don't. We don't. That is a failure. Period. And you got to live with that. You got to accept that. You're going to lose. There is no winners in this situation. Nobody wins. You just find a way to live differently. That's what you do. And sometimes that is necessary. I get it. But it's hard. It's hard. It's almost debilitating. Listen, there are holes that you're going to have, that they may not get filled. My parents got divorced when I was about 1 year old. Maybe one. I'm not quite 40 right now. But you can still feel the effects of that. You can still feel it. Today, it still feels eerie when they're all in the same room together. Still feels funny. It don't feel. No. Listen. You will experience emotion that you didn't even know you can have. I'm talking breaking down in the middle of a stoplight. Yes, it happens. Listen, I've had moments I just cry. I don't even know why. Like, yo, I'm hurting. It happens. Yeah. In the middle of the day. Because your mind has to reset and find a new normal. Because everything has something attached to it. There's some meaning. It's not just a chair. That's the chair that we bought together. It's not just the house. That's the house that I chase you through the house in. You imagine what it's like. You now rewriting your life insurance where you got to change your beneficiary. Because you thought that forever, I'm going to die, and we got to change that up. You change your beneficiaries. You thought y'all were going to die together, and I was going to bury you. That's what you thought. Because when you're a kid, in your mind, you have it all set up. This is how it's going to go. We're going to get married. Imagine saving yourself for that one person. Sexually, you save yourself. Mentally, you save yourself to that one person to get married to him. And then that relationship ends. Devastating. Imagine that. It happens. It's devastating. It's hard to come back. So I'm just saying a couple things that you need to know. I'm not endorsing. I'm not pushing you. I'm not encouraging you. I believe that if it can work that thing, you got to take a break to go some real spiritual healing hole. Whatever you need to do. If it's possible, go for it. But if you end up on that other side, you just need to know. Nobody told me. You just need to know that it is hell. It's hell. It's death. God hates it. Period. That's what it is, man. So, that's just my thoughts. Anybody got any more questions? For me, ask them to watch this video. And they'll tell you the truth. That's it.